Hey guys, this is me again. We're gonna continue with a little exploding drawer project. Getting the bestek buck from, well, for me yesterday, for you just a video ago, and getting it through 3D into Unity. My setup is a bit weird. I'm wearing the Oculus Rift on my head, using that as a microphone. I hope it works, but if not, we'll see what happens, huh? If there's a lot of extra sounds, it's just a microphone picking up of things like my keyboard and stuff. Let's not worry about it too much and get cooking. Blocks. Yeah, blocks saves its stuff in the documents folder over here. I'm just having that on date modified, picking the top one, and the only thing I have to do, because I set up my Windows environment so that I can just double click OBJ files and they should open in, oh god, right, they open in the old version. Sorry. This one I don't need. I just switched over to release 18 for Cinema 4D, so let's do it like this. I'm not sure if my settings here are taken over from the old version. Just a moment. It seems somehow Cinema 4D release 18 handles import scales, well, more obviously than the old version, so I had it set at a strange number. Let's see. Blocks. I want it at 100 centimeters instead of 100th. Save this as blocks. Yes, please, overwrite. There we go, see? We now have our bestek buck here. Cutlery tray being 33 by 35. That sounds about right. Okay. There's not much we really need to do because we only have 3 objects in the scene and we just want to align them a bit within Cinema and adjust the pivots. What the importer always does in this program is adding this normal tag here, which we want to lose as quickly as possible. And we need to rename the things, of course. The fact that it's just three meshes is a good thing. That means that I grouped it correctly in blocks. It's always nice to do that within blocks because it's easier to select stuff in blocks than it is dealing with lots and lots of tiny little meshes here. I leave almost everything, like the material names here, unchanged. So when I import them into Unity in a moment, they pick up the materials I already defined there. Let's see, this is across it. Toaster manual. We have here cellophane, and let's call this one just the stick buck. All camel case, obviously. Things tend to enter 3D environments a little crooked. You can see that it's not sitting correctly. I usually just select all the points, try and put them on the floor a little, like this. Side view, just straightening it out. And I like to straighten it out because that means that within Unity I can usually simply add box colliders instead of mesh colliders when things are crooked and weird. Toaster manual deserves some extra care to straighten out. Let's see. Well, it is crooked. It should be crooked. Everything should be crooked. Cellophane wrap is a special case, I guess. I want to keep it crooked like this because I like how it's positioned right now. Can be a little higher, of course. I'm just moving the points now. I'd call them vertices, but I'm not sure. I think vertices are more connected to the texturing side of things. So like this, they're just points. Okay, quick axis check. I want the toaster manual axe to just, wait a moment, back to model mode. All the axes are in the center of the world right now. I really want the toaster manual to have its axis set simply in the center. I don't care about the X, Y, and Z directions really that much. Cellophane. That's L to edit the axis. Let's put it over here, like so. And of course, in the middle. Nothing special here. I will just keep it like this, maybe. Yeah, I rotate it. So I can try add a box collider to it. I'm pointing the axis along the long side, so I could add a capsule collider to it in Unity, which is always aligned along one of the axes. This should be okay. And the bestek puck itself should, of course, have its... I call this the axis, but in most programs it's called the pivot. Put it in the center of the box itself, but I like to lay it flat on the floor usually, like so. So this really should be all we need to do within Cinema 4D. Let's save the thing. My special box caravan map. Bestek. My kitchen drawer contents. Always think about your names. Hugely important to have them not too funny, but just that in a year you know where what kinds of words to look for, like a drawer. Save that, and I shall just export this. Yeah, that's it. Let's just export as FBX. I have a hot link here to my models folder in Piece of the Universe. Kitchen drawer contents, leave the same name. And yeah, well, new settings everywhere. I think I should just leave it like this. I will disable tracks because I don't need any animation. Okay, exporting FBX. Let's switch to Unity. Right, if you're wondering why I am not keeping a nice, 16 by 9 thing, I'm working on a Cintiq here, and that's 4 by 3, so black bars all over the place. All right, I need to get used to navigating with my pen tablet. I usually use a mouse in Unity, but we can't. It makes too much noise, I think. So let's see. If all is well, my model will be between the models. I'm just looking for the blue thingy here. That means I just haven't published it within Collab. And it makes stuff easy to find. Get your drawing context. All here. Just to make sure, I always generate lightmap UVs. I wouldn't have to do that for this object because it won't receive lightmaps, but I do it anyway. Now I will quickly apply it and check another object. Yeah, I just used the... Oh no, I turn off file scale. So it comes in at scale factor 1. Apply. Kitchen is the same. This is my method of importing it. Let's see. I should just add it to the drawer and hope it lines up correctly. No! Oh God, I was afraid of that. It turned out huge. Okay, that's because of the way Cinema 3D exports new FBXs, I guess. So that's kind of useless. What happens if I select file scale? It looks better, right? Yeah, that's okay. So my new exports need to have file scale turned on. All because this and the exporter changed. Let me quickly have a look in the settings. Just this is more from my own information than that it will be useful. FBX exports. There's no scaling in FBX exports. You are not scaled. Your measurements are fine and dandy. Well, bit large, 23 centimeters. Huh, good to know. There we go. Anyway, here we are in the kitchen. This is the drawer I would like them to live in. I added them here because when you add an object to another object, it's how do you say, enters that object with position 0, scale 0, rotation 0, so it's already pre-aligned. But because it will have to behave like a separate bit of dynamics, I pull it out again, and I will have it live over here, I guess. Let's see what to do. I'm just quickly gonna turn off a few mesh renderers. Well, just this one, I guess. Just so we can see what we're doing. Because it's a bit messy. Otherwise, fridge. Let's see how this will work. There we go. Okay, let me quickly check if the volume is okay on my microphone when I talk like this. Yeah, it seems okay, right? Okay, let's go. So, what I usually do when I import things into Unity, because if you just import them like this and keep them, let's say, blue, then it's kind of interpreted as a prefab. See the buttons over here. It's not a real prefab, it's just a direct link to the model file, which is okay, but I like to have it as, how do you say, separate objects, no links anymore to any prefab type thing in my model folder. If I want a prefab, I will make it by hand, so I just pull them out. Oh, this is interesting. There's a camera within it. I will just remove that. So, and now I have 3 how do you see? Non-blue. Let's call it non-blue. They're a bit too large. I usually try and fix that within the full model import itself. There, I remember I used to do 0.85 scaling here. Should be better. Yeah, much better. This is about what I saw within blocks when I modeled it. So, as you can see, it seems crooked now, but that's just because the pivot is on global. When it's on local, it aligns neatly with the thing. So this is the stack back. This should just be an interactable object with dynamics applied. So let's add, add a rigid body. That's all fine, gravity. Let's add a box collider. See how that works out. Well, it works out a little, but we want to have it a little lower. I don't care about sticky outy parts like this here. they can intersect with the drawer and stuff, but I don't mind. Let's just make the box a little smaller. Just the edit. I just press the edit collider button and move stuff around like so. Seems fine. Okay, let's first do the toe. Oh, wait a moment, I'm forgetting something. Because it should be interactable, I should add also a Newton VR component to it. Well, one I modified a little, and that will be the NVR interactable. Oh, just the normal one. I modified other types. And the default settings here should be perfectly fine. Why is my interface a bit slow? Well, who cares? Okay, that's one. Save. The toaster manual should be just as easy. Add components, rigid body. I leave it like that. Box, a collider. Should be fine. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Yeah. And an NVR interactable item. There we go. So these are now both interactables. I worry a little about what the drawer will do with 3 physical objects in it. I hope it works. I tried it before with a bunch of objects, kind of 5, and they keep sliding around within the drawer. I'm hoping that if it's only 2, really pressing down of it, we don't have too much extraneous motion. Extraneous? Well, you know what I mean. Let's do the cellophane wrap. Yeah. I think I'm gonna give this one, well, always rigid body, of course. Always NVR interactable. But this one I'll give a capsule collider. Like so. And this tries to fit it to the object in a weird way. So we have to really adjust this. It's nice how Unity picks up on the mesh filter or the mesh renderer, I don't know, and tries to fit it, but well, with the capsule collider it goes all wonky because it expects the y-axis to be the long side, and we need it in the x-axis. We want it centered because I remember that I put the pivot nicely in the center. Radius is way too big. Now the height is way too little. Okay. Rest I can do with the collider tools. Oh, quick tip. Okay, where are my handles? You know, you can drag the handles and it's just moving that side of the object. If you press Alt, it fits, well, after clicking and dragging, press Alt, and it scales both sides, just like in Photoshop. Same for the handles at the outer ends. I think this will work. Yeah. But because we have a sticky outy bit, we want an extra collider for this bit. And I usually, oh, I lost it, one moment. There we go. I usually add that extra collider as a child, because when you have a rigid body on an object and it finds child colliders without rigid bodies, it just treats all the rigid body, all the colliders it finds as one compound collider. So it's pretty easy. I just add a cube to it. 3D object cube. I immediately remove the mesh filter and the mesh renderer, and I just have this box collider here, which is huge. So let's just scale it down first. Funny thing with using a child collider object is that you can just move the axis around if you want. Not that it matters. Not a lot. Also, I tend to name collider only bodies just a C, so I visually recognize what it is I'm dealing with. With Alt pressed, I'm just scaling the box collider to more or less where I want it. Let's just use it like this. No one will notice. It will behave a little like you would expect. Well, it will be a very, very rigid piece of cellophane, of course, but the sticky outy bit will at least react. Well, the wood will react to the sticky outy bit, and that's all that matters. Slight rotation. Choop, choop. Okay. That should be it. So, we have a stack back that's set up as an interactable physical element. The cellophane roll is set up, and the toaster manual is also set up. I want to place them a little. Oh, if you see the axis switching, I just press X on the keyboard and it switches to between global and local. And I want to have this around here, more or less. I switch to local, so I'm sure that I don't move it up or down in the world. Global, sorry, I switched it to global. Now, there's a problem. See, it collectively they're higher than the drawer itself, which would mean they would explode as soon as all the colliders kick in when you hit play. But because we left out the top of the bestek collider, this should be fine enough. Okay,